Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright lovelies, let's get into the video. So lovelies, I came across the video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where this black woman is seen, crying on how she's been in a relationship for 7 years, and the end result was something not funny, guys. And I was just able to put up some stitches because a lot of people, was concerned and stitched her video. She was actually crying tears. Guys, I'm just gonna roll the clip as well as the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and don't forget that we are just here for informative and educational purposes, guys. Alright lovelies, let's get into the video.
Moved 3,000 miles across the country for this person, and so he waits until just after our 7-year anniversary to first of all abandon me. He left all my friends, my bands behind.
This is why I believe that you have to stop centering men in your life. Stop making all of these wife-like sacrifices for boyfriends. It's different if, you guys are a couple and you guys together as a family decided to move, but you're doing all this, you're chasing a boyfriend 3,000 miles away, you're going to the school that he's going to, you're giving up jobs and careers and opportunities that you could benefit from for him. Like, some men will always have you in sacrifice mode. She was willing to give up her family and friends and do all of this for him. And what was he able to do? And some men will wait until you've given it all up for them. That's when they want to leave. Because I know whatever issue he had with her, he had that issue years ago back wherever they were. But he allowed her to move 3,000 miles, and that's when he decided to show out. I think so many women do this because you're trying to show him that you could be a ride or die. You're trying to show him that you could be loyal. You're auditioning. This is what I'm saying. You are auditioning. She's mad because 7 years of auditioning, 7 years of proving herself, 7 years of showing him that she will do anything for him. It still wasn't good enough. That's what she's really mad about. That she gave it all up for him. That's why you cannot lose yourself in a relationship. And a man that truly loves you will never allow you to let you give up that much for them. What has he given up? As long as you're in sacrifice mode, a man is not going to stop you. This is why you don't embrace the long-term girlfriend life if you know you want to be a wife. He'll let you waste as much time as you're willing to waste. Stop auditioning for these men by showing them how much you'll lose yourself in them, how much you'll give to them, how much you'll sacrifice to them, because all they're ever going to do is let you.
I moved 3,000 miles across.
Let's talk about it, because I used to be her. Back in 2018, I moved down to Dallas to make a relationship work that I had been entertaining on and off for about 2 years long distance. This was a man that I thought I was absolutely in love with. You could not tell me nothing about my man. You couldn't tell me nothing about my relationship. You couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to marry this man, have all his babies, live in a big ass house with a white picket fence and a dog. I was delusional. And it didn't matter, because in that delusion, I was in my mind thinking he's going to see everything that I'm giving up, everything I'm sacrificing. He's going to recognize how bad I want this to work. And he's going to see how much I love him. And I'm going to get that in return. And we're going to live happily ever after. And guess what? It didn't work like that. It's a few reasons why it didn't work. Number one, when I moved down here, I wasn't established. I had a job, but I didn't have friends. I didn't have family. I never went out. I never did anything. If I ever hung out, it would be with him and his family or him and his friends. I didn't even have a life. I was extremely depressed. I wanted to go home so bad, but baby, I was holding on so tight to that relationship because I knew exactly what I wanted and everything that I had sacrificed, and there was no way I wasn't going to obtain it. But what I did not realize back then was I wasn't even happy. The reason I wasn't happy was because I didn't understand that I had completely lost myself. I had molded myself to become a woman that he would be in love with and that he would want to be with. I wasn't Jam anymore. Even my homegirls back home and my friends back home did not recognize who I was because I had completely absorbed myself with pleasing him. When that relationship ended, that may have been some of the worst abandonment that I have ever felt in my life. And the reason why I have felt so abandoned now I know is because I did not have my own. And I had literally had to press reset on my life because my life had revolved around him. I'm not saying don't move your life for nobody, don't transition for nobody, but just make sure you're established. Oftentimes we feel as though when we're in a relationship and we are giving 100% and we are loving and pouring into that person, we automatically expect that in return. But see, life just does not work that way, unfortunately. Just because you are good to someone does not guarantee they're gonna be good to you. It's a hard truth, but it's real. And the more I sit and think about that situation and talk about it out loud, it just makes me sick to my stomach to know that I allowed someone to take me up and down through it. But it's also making me realize how grateful I am to have experienced that, because now I know better. Had I had someone tell me the things that I'm sitting here telling y'all, then I probably would have made a different decision. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. Just make sure you don't give up yourself for someone that's not giving you what you know you absolutely deserve.
So we have a woman. She's been in a relationship for 7 years. She leaves her entire life behind. That's going to be friends, family, and the dogs, just to move all the way across the country in order to marry this guy. And as soon as she gets there, he abandons her, dumps her, and breaks her heart. Why? Well, the why is because he was non-committal and avoidant from the start. He has mommy issues. He has intimacy problems with women. So he was fine when she was at arm's length, but as soon as the shit hit the fan and she actually got there and he had to be intimate, he jumped ship. He jumped ship because he treated her just like his mommy, which he was already doing from the start. And had this relationship really went to its full conclusion, he would have treated her like that the whole time. Even though his mom would do what mommies do and take care of him, do his laundry, feed him, and wipe his little hiney, guess what would happen whenever he wanted to do something that she wouldn't allow him to do? He would sneak out and go do it anyway. He would go defy mama. So let this be a lesson that whenever men who have mommy issues treat you like a mommy, it's not just in the good way. They don't just treat you like a mommy like they expect you to hold them. They don't just treat you like a mommy like they expect you to do the dishes. They also disobey you like a mama and do whatever they want.
And broke up. There's a video that a woman made on this app where she's crying because her boyfriend, her partner of 7 years, abandoned her and broke up with her after she made a big cross-country move. And there's a lot of people stitching that video and having a lot of thoughts about how important it is to decenter men. You're not single, you're single until you're married, all of that, right? And I understand why that's the conversation that that video inspired to have, but I just feel real bad because that woman is in pain. That woman, she was in love. She had a partner that she thought they were aligned. She made a move across the country to be with him, and she's sad. And I just feel like before we try and turn that into a gotcha moment to talk about decentering, I don't know, I just feel in the decentering men conversation, my decision to decenter men came out of a deep love for myself and a deep love and reverence for women. And I think it's important to be mindful that, not to be cruel. It's coming off a little cruel. But I mean, I know that that's social media, and I know that, whatever you put out there, people are going to take and interpret however it is that they want. And again, I do think that decentering conversation of men, don't make, if you're going to move cross country, it's because it's something that you wanted to do that fit into your plans, not just because it's their plan and you're going to follow them, So I think all those conversations are incredibly important, but I don't know, having a decentering men conversation and feeling like that's giving us room to still kind of perpetuate some kind of cruelty to women, I feel like we're missing the plot a little bit. I feel like we're a little misaligned. There's a video that a woman made on this app where she's crying because her boyfriend, her partner of 7 years, abandoned her.
Praises to the Creator and glory to God for the fact that this happened to her as a girlfriend and not as a wife. This is why when I see women dropping their whole world for a man moving across the world and it doesn't work out, and then they look for community and can't find it because they dropped their community to go and support a man who never left his community, by the way, in the name of being in a relationship with you, it's always very funny to me. And I'm not trying to make women feel bad, but at the same time, there are certain decisions that are just silly. If you are a boyfriend and in a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, you're single until married, and there's certain sacrifices that you don't need to be doing prematurely. Stop making premature sacrifices. According to the IRS, according to the US government, if you are not married, you're not in a relationship. You are single. You are single. So don't try and do things. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get too excited. And this is why women need to stop being too excited about relationships, because you get over your heads and try and do a lot of things to make it work because you're that excited. Notice how the sacrifice is never mutual in the boyfriend-girlfriend stage, or even in most relationship stages. Men are not dropping their whole world for a woman. I don't care how bad you are. I don't care how good you look. I don't care. No man does that. We should be taking notes, ladies, because at the end of the day, men love themselves outside of a relationship. I don't know if I can fully say that about women, and we need to work there. And I know we can talk about societal norms, pressures, and expectations, but at the end of the day, when you make that bad decision, it's you. You can't blame people. It's you. You decided. So let's work on making better decisions, okay? There is no scarcity mentality we're operating under. If a relationship doesn't work out, by the grace of God, there'll be another one. Stop holding on to men as if that one is your one and all. You don't even hold on to Christ that strongly, yet you'll hold on that strongly to a man who has disappointed you, and our Lord and Savior has never failed. If you do things like that, you can't be surprised when your life is looking funny. I'm so sorry. I'm going to say it. When you have your priorities messed up and you get bad outcomes, you got to look at yourself. You're the common denominator. Ladies, relationships are good, but if it's gonna make you make dumb decisions, it's suspicious. It's very suspicious.
Okay, I just want to say that I feel like the majority of us can relate to this experience of putting a relationship first and putting ourselves second in order to keep love in our lives. Something that took me years to recognize and unlearn is that as women, we are presented with the concept of love as the end all be all. Like, there is no happily ever after because you get your degree or because you travel the world or because you're successful. You get a happily ever after once you find your prince. We are taught that love is the thing that is going to bring us happiness, the thing that is going to complete us and save us. And I have learned that that is a myth. That is a myth. But that's also the thing that makes us place all of our efforts and our hope and our energy into relationships, even when it comes at our own detriment as an individual. And if you're in this kind of situation, you have to forgive yourself for the decisions you've made and realize that only you can save you.
My heart absolutely goes out to this woman and the many women who can relate to her. I am confident that majority of us have a story about a time where we almost moved for somebody, or we did move for somebody only to be abandoned or to realize like, whoa, this is a bad decision, and then not do it. It wasn't until I was maybe like nearing the end of med school and about to graduate that I realized, why is it that all these men that I've talked to that are either doctors or becoming doctors can use the excuse of like, well, I did medical school or I'm in residency and I can't move and you have to move for me and I worked so hard for this career, like you have to support me. Why they can say that, but women can't? Or women are villainized for saying it if they do. It's not a woman's fault if she has been conditioned to believe that she needs to adjust her entire life to a man's life and just like incorporate herself into it. Uproot herself if she has to. Sacrifice who she is and what she does if she has to. But God forbid that a man sacrifices something for her. It's laughable because I no longer think that way, and I'm so glad I don't, but it actually hit me. And I remember arguing with people about this, like fighting with them, being like, why do I have to keep moving for people? Why do I have to keep adjusting? We have the same career, the same level of education, we're putting in the same work. I'm eventually going to be a resident too. Why am I accommodating my whole life for them? And they're not even considering doing it for me. I repeat, they're not even considering doing it for me. The thought doesn't cross their mind. I do not blame this woman. I do not blame any woman for accommodating and sacrificing and adjusting and incorporating herself into another man's life, because that's what we've been conditioned to believe that we have to do in order to be married or in a relationship. And I'm glad the narrative is shifting. I'm glad it's changing, but it wasn't always like that. We're learning and we're growing, and she is too. So I commend her for it.
About how I almost ruined my life by moving to the middle of nowhere for an F-boy. Ever since I could hold a pen, I knew I was destined to live in New York to become a writer. So when I met my college sweetheart, I was happy to find out we both had dreams of going to the same place. All my other college friends got to date and explore the scene. Not me. I gave this man all 4 of my college years that I could never get back. I met his family, we played house, did all the things without the ring. Graduation rolls around, and instead of proposing, he decided for the both of us that we weren't going to New York anymore. We were going to go to his hometown so he could go to law school in Michigan. Y'all, Michigan is so cold. Do you know they have negative degrees? Mind you, he could have applied to law schools anywhere in the country. I would have compromised and been open to other states, but there were no job opportunities in my field in Michigan. It was 10 hours away from my entire family. The only friends there would be his friends. His city definitely didn't have a poetry scene. I would be sacrificing everything, and what was he giving up? And that's what women are often expected to do. Sacrifice, build their dreams, support their career, let the man lead. Even a man without a ring. He was gonna lead me straight into a fire. Knowing what I know now, we definitely would have broken up anyways. Girl, I would have been stuck there alone, eating cheese and surviving that Midwest winter. I packed 2 suitcases and moved to New York without him. And I got my dream job writing for a major company. Got to enjoy the trash New York City dating scene that I didn't get to experience in college. Some of these men had me head over heels, something I never thought I could feel without my ex. And others were not so great, but I learned a lot. I turned those lessons into poems and gained confidence by performing in front of hundreds of people. And then one accidentally went viral. Now I'm selling out shows. I worked with an international brand, touring, and opening for some of my favorite poets. I also wrote my first book, and I can't believe I almost gave that up for his dream to become a lawyer. He didn't even finish law school. And I'm not even saying that moving for a relationship never works out. Just make sure you don't lose yourself, especially in your 20s. Right now, you are single until you are married. Enjoy your 20s. Choose yourself. Let me know, do you want a part 2 about how I moved to New York without him? I could do a whole story.
So lovelies, apparently this woman and her said, man who has been in a relationship, it's supposed to be a long distance relationship. They've been in this relationship for a very long time. So because they want to make this relationship a unique one and a very close one at that, then they have this, suggestion that the woman should, leave her location, or maybe leave her state wherever she was staying before to, move to where her man lives. So apparently on this video, she's, crying and, asking people of what she need to do, because she's been on this relationship for like 7 years, like 7 good years. After she must have left everything in her own base, her band, maybe apparently she's actually into musical stuff, so she have to abandon her own career, abandon everything about her, and she give in everything on this relationship, relocating and meeting the love of her life. Like, let's presume that. So one thing led to the other. The relationship, the guy in question actually called off the relationship. Like 7 years relationship, 7 years of 7 years of, promises of love, of future plans, of, and everything just went down the drain. And she's just crying and yelling that, assuming this guy knew that this relationship is not going to work out, why would he encourage her to actually leave her base where she had a life, where she had a band, her career, future-wise, and all of that? And she decided to, move in with this guy. And after all this, the guy had to call off the relationship, and she just online blabbing, crying, and feeling so heartbroken and all of that. And this got me thinking so loudly. I don't know that some people I know that, this love affair thing is something that when you are in love, there is nothing you can do. There is nothing that you can do for you to sustain that love you think you are in. But the thing is that when a relationship is something that it's making you uncomfortable, or making you to leave so many things that you are ought to achieve by yourself, or because you're chasing this relationship goal to go meet someone, you feel that he feels the same way with you, then by the end of the day, he's not the person that you think that he is. This is something that everybody should look into. No matter even if you're a guy or a girl, do not lose yourself in a relationship, especially a relationship that is not even. This is just, you guys are not even married, especially a relationship that. Okay, because there are some guys that can pretend a lot, that they will make you feel as if you are the only thing that exists for them. So I feel that before something like this should take place, you yourself shouldn't lose yourself in the process of relationship. Relationship is not what you living your own dream. Living your only relationship that will make you to live your dream, that will make you to abandon whatsoever you're doing. At that relationship, you guys are not even married. Let's just assume that these people are married couple, and this man, okay, decided, okay, I want my wife close to me so she can come here. Then while I do my thing, then she does her own thing. These people are not married; they are only dating, and you've already left everything that has to do with you. You're bound. Apparently, maybe she's into some kind of thing for herself. She have to leave it. She have to cross wherever to be with you. Maybe with all the promises he has made to her, okay, we're gonna build our life together. You're just gonna stay here for while I do my thing. Then you, as the woman, you're seeing all these red flags. Like a man that will just want you to just leave every. He has not even put the ring on your finger. He has not really, you guys are just dating. I don't say that there are no, this kind of relationship does not work. It does, but it's just a little percent. The red flag is all over the places. How could someone be dating you for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5 years, 6 and 7 years, this person has not even wifed you, and you think when you move in with this person, he's gonna wife you? And what makes you think that he's even being faithful to you? He's probably in another distant relationship with someone else, whom he might maybe finally want to settle down with this other person. Why he still keeps you like this is why I like what the other first lady said, that you should stop giving these guys the benefit of wifeys, like wife duty benefits to someone you're dating. You shouldn't give all those wife benefits to someone you're just dating, someone that have not even gotten married to you, someone that you guys are just courting. How would you leave everything about you then to relocate? I know it's done, it happens, and sometimes it works, but the working is so slim. It's working out is very slim. That's why we have a lot of broken homes, a lot of broken relationship, a lot of broken marriages, and all of that, because the relationship is not even defined from the start. This lady was just, she's so heartbroken. And there are a lot of women that have shared their own experience. Like, this thing is something that is happening. It's something that has been happening, and we have refused to learn from our mistakes. This is why we even have TikTok. Like, how could you lose yourself in a relationship? There's this thing I learned growing up. Like, when you're growing up or when you're a teenager, there's so many things you are not ought to learn. But when you are now in some certain age in life, there are so many things that you have to learn on your own, open your eyes and all of that. I have learned that in order for you to not to beat yourself, in order for you not to feel disappointed with yourself, you have to first of all focus on your energy on yourself. Every happiness, you should be able to create your own happiness. You should be able to create your own future. You shouldn't depend on anybody, no matter who this person is. Even as a married woman, you shouldn't even depend your own career, your future, everything on a man, because something might happen. And look at what happened with this other man that have been with a lady for like 4 to 5 years, after which the lady birthed 6 children in 4 years interval. And after that, this man have to leave this lady. So what are you not saying? Talk more of you, that you guys are just only dating. You're not even married. Things are really happening. The world is changing, and everybody needs to change with the world. You need to first of all learn to love yourself. You need to be very independent on yourself. Create your own happiness. You don't need to relocate or maybe stop your own future because of a man. You have to just build yourself. It's not even like it's a husband or something. Someone you're just dating. Like you don't have to. This goes in both ways, both men and female. You just have to create your own happiness, build your own future, do your thing as if you're just on your own while you are still married or in a relationship, because you don't know what tomorrow will tell. That is why even as a stay-at-home mom, so many stay-at-home moms, okay, there are people that is working out for, there are people that after all the wasted years, because I've been seeing so many videos, stitches on TikTok, so many stay-at-home mom, coming out to talk about how they regret not building themselves or building their life. How the only, even as a stay-at-home mom, while you're taking care of your kids, you should just get something outside, because you don't know what tomorrow will tell. Because this person you feel that you know too well might actually disappoint you, and you come out online and start blabbing. So that when something like this occurs, if you have already built your heart, your mind, and you've already created something for yourself, when something like this occurs, you have to just shave it off. You will see it as if it's just a way of life. It won't hurt you that much, because you've already equipped yourself, you've already built yourself, you're already independent on your own. Like you've already guided your heart. Like we should be able to learn from mistakes. There are a lot of them, like a lot of all these relationship circles out there on TikTok, but seriously, lovelies, we should be able to guide our hearts in order for us not to break down. And else, decided to put up all of this, all of these women that stitched their video with the same experience, so that a lot of people can also learn from this experience. This can actually happen to a man as well. Seriously, the world is not joking with anyone this time around. A lot of things is changing. Men don't longer want to be in a relationship. Women don't longer want to be in a relationship. Women want to be child-free by choice. Women don't want to give birth. Men want to be single. Men want to be child-free. Like things are really happening. The world is changing, because a lot of people are just trying to do things on their own this time around. So that's why we have to learn how to create our own happiness, build our own happiness, guide our heart so as not to break down. Just let's imagine that this lady right now has nothing. Like she practically left everything from her base to meet this same guy. Now, where do you think she will start from? After all these years, maybe hoping for marriage, maybe she will just end up, so where would you think she was? Before you see this kind of lady again, she will tell you that, oh my God, I'm just going off from relationship. I want to be single. Because this is the reason why a lot of women are becoming to be single. Because of all of this kind of disappointment. Guys. Anyways, why not leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that this channel does not support any form of, bullying. We're just here for informative relationship tips, educational, whatever. And I will see you lovelies when I upload my next video. And don't forget to please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Thank you so much for subscriptions. And I will see you lovely when I upload my next video.